happy Saturday morning. It is Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, stabbing death of man investigated in Manchester. Police investigate walking trail near Nuts Pond. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa! Sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fat.
40-year-old Raymond Moore arrested after the body of a 75-year-old victim was found on the rail trail off Bradley Street Friday morning with apparent stab wounds.
And charged with second-degree murder for recklessly causing the death of that victim under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life.
According to the Attorney General's office, Moore previously lived in Mississippi but has no known current address. Evelyn Diaz says her fiance found the victim while out for a walk.
The stab wounds were really bad because you could tell that he said that he was trying to defend himself because he's also having stab wounds here, everywhere.
People living in the area say the trail's a trouble spot.
And a lot of older people live around here. That concerns me, and the kids go to school here.
This is the second time something has happened down there, and my family continuously tells me to stay off the trail.
The Attorney General's office reporting no evidence connecting this case with recent others in the area.
We do not believe that there's any threats to the general public stemming from this incident.
Moore is anticipated to be arraigned Tuesday at Hillsborough North Superior Court. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Manchester Detective Division. That number is 603-668-8711. Live in Manchester, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester awarded $404M grant to develop biomedical manufacturing sector. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa! Sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fast. How fast? 2 gig download and upload fast. But we know speed isn't everything. That's why we also offer whole home Wi-Fi connectivity, an easy-to-use app, and so much more. Plus, Fidium eliminates data caps, gimmicks, and hidden fees. Finally, there's internet that's flexible, friendlier, faster for you. Yeah, you, and whatever you do.
$44 million in federal funding has been awarded to the city of Manchester and a coalition of 6 partners whose goal is to make southern New Hampshire the global epicenter for manufacturing regenerative tissues and organs.
But to do it, they need world-class labs for clinical trials that will attract the most innovative biomedicine companies to locate and create jobs in New Hampshire.
Dean Kamen's Advanced Regenerative Manufacturing Institute is one of the partners involved. He explains the potential of regenerative tissues and organs in medicine.
What if, instead of taking insulin injections every day, we just gave you a new working pancreas? Your diabetes has been cured, not treated. Supposing we could give you a new kidney, then you don't have end-stage renal failure. You'll never need another dialysis treatment. You just went in and they replaced the bad organ with a functioning one.
The money will be spent outfitting Manchester's mill yards, which will house the infrastructure needed to make and manufacture regenerative tissues and organs.
The rest of it we will spend over the next couple of years on educating and creating the workforce and doing some of the other things we need to do to ensure that this becomes a very successful project.
The federal government says it'll allocate the $44 million by the end of the current federal fiscal year on September 30th.
And Manchester was just one of 21 cities across the country that was awarded some of that grant money, beating out roughly 500 other cities and towns in their proposals for that same federal money. Live in Manchester tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. $1 billion in federal economic grants headed coast to coast. Let's take a listen to that video.
The nights are getting colder, but the savings are heating up. Abundant Life's 47th annual pre-season stove and fireplace sale happens this Labor Day weekend. With the lowest prices of the year, you'll save up to 40% on all wood, gas, and pellet stoves, fireplaces, and inserts. We are New Hampshire's largest since 1970.
Thank you all. This American Rescue Plan program invests $1 billion, a total of $3 billion, but $1 billion to create jobs and opportunity for people in places where they live and where they've worked their entire career so they don't have to leave. This is about investing in them, believing in them, helping them transition to a new world. They can do these jobs, just like they did the ones they had before. This is about jobs in their communities, for them, not having to leave or not having to go on unemployment. In August, the economy created 315,000 new jobs. The great American jobs machine continues its comeback. American workers are back to work, earning more, manufacturing more, building an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. But with today's news, we have now created nearly 10 million new jobs since I took office. Nearly 10 million jobs, the fastest growth in all of American history. The bottom line is jobs are up, wages are up, people are back to work, and we're seeing some signs that inflation may be, I'm not overpromising, may be beginning to ease. None of this is happening by accident. These investments and this recovery are a direct result of my economic plan. Some people gave up on American manufacturing. Not me, not the secretary, not the American people. Make it in America is no longer just a slogan. It's a reality in my administration. I don't consider any Trump supporter to be a threat to the country. I do think anyone who calls for the use of violence feels the contempt of violence when it's used, refuses to acknowledge when an election has been won, insists upon changing the way in which the rules you count votes. That is a threat to democracy. Democracy. And everything we stand for rests on the platform of democracy.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Busy roads expected for Labor Day as gas prices continue to fall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What does it take to be the best? It takes guts, grit, determination. We don't settle for second.
Hey, Jen. Well, you can probably see it right here on the roads. There is traffic here in Bedford. A line is coming and going here at the tolls at Bedford. But this holiday traffic, it was expected, according to AAA New England, all as we are feeling a little bit of relief over at the gas pump. So this time last year, gas was $3.02 in New Hampshire. Today, well, it is $3.87, but on the 4th of July, the price for a gallon of gas was $4.80, so that's almost a full dollar higher. According to a AAA survey, 32% of Americans are planning to hit the roads this weekend. 66% of responders say they traveled less this summer, 80% saying they cut spending in other areas to save money, including non-grocery shopping and going to the movies. AAA New England says even though fewer people tend to travel on Labor Day compared to the 4th and Memorial Day, roads are still expected to be busy.
95 coming north is bumper-to-bumper traffic, so it's a good sign for tourist destinations and hotels and restaurants. Not the best news for drivers. So we want to remind you before you get on that road to pack your patience.
AAA does expect 73% of Americans to travel after Labor Day. Half of them are expected to take to the roads here. The other half are split. Some say they'll take to the skies. Some say they will even go on a cruise. Live in Bedford, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Barnstead man accused of shooting at neighbors. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Whoa, sorry, you probably didn't catch all that. Well, as you can see, Fidium is fast. How fast? 2 gig download and upload fast. But we know speed isn't everything. That's why we also offer whole home Wi-Fi connectivity, an easy-to-use app, and so much more. Plus, Fidium eliminates data caps,
Jamie, no one was hurt in that shooting, but a judge says Peters presents a danger to the public. He's accused of shooting at a neighbor's car and threatening another neighbor with a gun, all while young children were nearby. According to court proceedings today, all of this happened just before 5:30 Monday night on Vale Road in Barnstead. One neighbor says he was getting a car part from Peters' house when he says Peters started complaining about people driving fast. That's when 2 women, also neighbors, drove by and say Peters threw a wrench at them. They say they threw it back and Peters took out a gun and shot at their car. That first neighbor says Peters then turned on him and threatened him with a gun while his 2 children were nearby. The defense says Peters could move away from the area and that he'd stay away from drugs and alcohol, but the state said Peters' indifference towards this whole situation is concerning.
I think under the circumstances, a person were cognizant that he not own or possess any firearm, destructive device, dangerous weapon, or ammunition, so that he does not have firearms at his reach, no drugs or alcohol, a waiver of extradition, and no contact, and that he can't go back to his own residence at this point. Those are all sureties that the community is safe.
If his response was to shoot a gun because of any type of verbal altercation, that just shows his demeanor and his inability to control his anger or his actions.
Police say Peters was on the run for several days before turning himself in. He's now being held on preventative detention and is facing several charges, including 2 counts of reckless conduct with a firearm. Live in Laconia, Hannah Cotter, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Judge unseals inventory of Mar-a-Lago raid. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
So, you're at the age now where you may start feeling certain urges to buy things at full price. But thanks to Amazon's low-priced everyday essentials, you can practice safe spending. I'm glad we had this talk.
New detailed inventory unsealed today, revealing item by item the classified and top secret documents FBI agents found during their search of Mar-a-Lago. 33 boxes pulled from Donald Trump's office and from storage. More than 11,000 government records in all, including documents and photos. In Trump's office, federal authorities say some of those sensitive documents were found mixed in with old magazines and newspaper clippings. Agents also discovering more than 40 empty folders labeled classified and more than 24 empty folders labeled return to staff secretary or military aid, with no word on what may have happened to the contents inside. Trump has been railing against the investigation, but today his former Attorney General Bill Barr defending the Justice Department, blasting the former president for taking classified information, accusing him of deceiving federal authorities. All of this as the judge decides whether to appoint an independent third party, known as a special master, to review the seized documents. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leads us off.
Tonight, a newly unsealed inventory from the search at Mar-a-Lago is giving the most detailed look yet at the trove of government records seized by the FBI. More than 11,000 documents in all, including 48 empty folders marked classified and 42 empty folders labeled Return to Staff Secretary Military Aid, found in Donald Trump's office and the storage closet. It's unclear whether the contents of those folders are missing or misplaced, but it raises serious questions about how they were being stored. ABC News has learned investigators are concerned that classified documents may have been taken beyond Mar-a-Lago, and officials concerned about the way the materials were stored. That inventory indicating that top-secret material was found in boxes mixed with personal items like clothing and magazines. Today, Bill Barr, Donald Trump's once loyal attorney general, asked by Fox News if there was any legitimate reason the former president would have such classified material.
No, I can't think of a legitimate reason.
And as far as the FBI's unprecedented raid?
Well, it's also unprecedented for a president to take all this classified information and put him in a country club. How long is the government going to try to get that back? You know, they jawbone for a year. They were deceived on the voluntary actions taken. They then went and got a subpoena. They were deceived on that, they feel. And the facts are starting to show that they were being jerked around.
Today's release comes as a federal judge now weighs whether to appoint an independent party or special master to help resolve disputes about the documents.
And Pierre joins us now. And Pierre, you're getting word that this investigation is still going full steam ahead, even intensifying.
Mary, investigators are still interviewing witnesses, going through documents, and trying to figure out who had access to them. There's still a sense of urgency, Mary.
Pierre tracking this all for us. Pierre, thank you.
Hi. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.